Hey guys, this is Booligan with Airsoft Retreat, BooliganAirsoft.com, and Airsoft Insider Magazine. Today we're taking a quick video overview of the Ng3 version of the WE SMG-8 available at Evike. What is the SMG-8? The SMG-8 is a gas-powered submachine gun designed by WE and obviously with some visual inspirations with the H&K MP7, but just enough changes to keep it off of H&K's radar. Now, this uses the newest version of WE's Ng3 Blowback System for a more improved firing experience and durability as opposed to the original versions of these, which had some problems. Some of the problems that the original ones had: very weak polymer design in the back where it could actually blow the bolt clean out of the back. Really not a good thing. That was kind of a big problem with the older ones. The new one, I'm pretty happy to report, hasn't had that issue yet. And I've been putting a lot of rounds through this because, as you saw earlier in those quick little firing videos, this thing is a hell of a lot of fun. Some of the features of the SMG-8 are a polymer designed body. The whole body's made of polymer. The internal mechanism is all made of metal, so you have good structural stability, and even though it's made of polymer, I mean, it is rock solid. You're not going to break this thing. You have a vertical pistol grip, similar to what you have with like an Uzi or a MAC-10, and that allows the slightly curved full metal magazine to insert in. You've got some finger grooves, which make it pretty comfortable to hold. Fully ambidextrous controls, including your magazine release, your selector switch, located on both sides. The one on the right side is slightly shorter to clear the ejection port and also to not get your finger, as well as the bolt release. On empty, the bolt will lock back. There you go. So it locks back on empty, and once you put a fresh mag in, push that down. Your mag's now, or your bolt is now forward. The magazine holds 44 rounds and has pretty abysmal gas economy. On semi-auto with plenty of time between shots, you'll be fine. You'll get through a full mag. Firing in 2 to 3 round bursts, provided you leave enough time for the magazine to get back up to temp between shots, just a couple of seconds, you'll be fine. But if you mag dump this thing, you will run out of BBs, or excuse me, you'll run out of gas before you run out of BBs. It's a pretty big problem. It's certainly not something that'll keep you from using the gun effectively on the field. You just have to be a little bit smarter than normal when it comes to how you shoot this thing. You've got a big magazine capacity, a little gas capacity, so it's just something to keep an eye on. You have a retractable stock, which is another thing that was an issue with some of the earlier models. Sometimes the recoil would be so great that when you're firing the gun, it would actually collapse on itself. I mean, it's largely improved over before. However, at the middle setting, I've had it happen twice during my testing, so the problem is not completely eliminated. But I mean, overall, the stock's pretty damn strong on this, and they include a replacement internal stock catch as well. The stock fully extends to this position and can be removed if so desired by pulling up on this little lever. Removed, you now have a pistol of sorts. An unwieldy, large, kind of a pain in the butt to use pistol. Best to keep the stock on, in my opinion. You have adjustable iron sights. The front is fixed, and you can remove it from the top rail entirely by punching out this small pin. That pops right off. The rear is adjustable for windage and elevation, and it has a hole type aperture as well as a notch like a pistol. Sights are pretty good on it. The sight height is slightly higher than an MP7, which I've noticed, which gives you a little bit more options for running optics without a riser. Also, you'll notice you do not have the normal MP7 vertical foregrip. You have a rail, so you can mount whatever the hell you want on this thing. You want to mount a little grenade launcher on it, go nuts. Have 12mm negative threaded muzzle that has a proprietary flash hider, which people who have shot this gun and who own this gun know how ridiculously easy it is for me to be unscrewing this right now. That is because it is a royal pain in the ass to remove the flash hider the first time. You have to entirely disassemble the gun, take out the selector switches, take out the pin that holds the trigger in place, pop the whole thing out, put some vice grips on the barrel, heat it up with a blowtorch, and then break it. Because this thing is coated with about a ½ inch of, it looks like red Loctite. They really don't want you taking the tip off. Yet they include a 14mm negative threaded adapter. Go figure. But once you finally get it off, you can then attach the threaded adapter that again comes in the package. And you can fit pretty much any 14mm negative threaded muzzle device of your choosing. Pretty nice, looks pretty clean. How the gun shoots. Chrono's right around 400 FPS. I got one shot over 400 FPS in my testing, but everything else was in the 380 to 390 range. For a CQB gun, that's not great. That's shooting too hot, and there aren't really a whole lot of options for lowering that velocity. So let's look at field use. Your accuracy isn't bad, but this thing is a relatively short-barreled SMG. It does suffer from cooldown, so your shot-to-shot consistency, if you go through your shots pretty quickly, may become a bit of an issue. That being said, I was pretty comfortably able to engage targets out to 140 feet or so, especially after correcting my slightly misaligned hop-up, which you can read about in my full review. I mean, the thing shoots okay. It's really not bad. I would have liked to see it come in around 350 FPS, because then it would be perfect for CQB use, and also you'd probably get a little bit better gas economy. Rate of fire is in the low 20s. Just depend on your temp, how long you've been shooting the gun, how well lubed everything is. But I was getting 20 to 22 rounds per second tested using Audacity. Overall, for $150, which is what this thing currently is priced at, you get a hell of a lot of gun. That's what some pistols cost, and this thing is a full-fledged gas-powered submachine gun. It does have some quirks. The stock may or may not get loose on you while shooting. The gas economy is kind of miserable. It's not particularly comfortable, but that vertical grip, especially with a short length of pull on the stock, does grow on you. But for $150, it really is pretty damn hard to beat. Many thanks to Evike.com for sending this thing over for review. We have a lot of appreciation for their continued review sponsorship. Be sure to check them out. They've got spare magazines available as well for around 20-ish bucks. And again, be sure to check out the full review on Booligan Airsoft and Airsoft Retreat. And as always, thanks for watching.